Welcome, everybody, to the first podcast of RBG.
Like RGB, but fucked up.
Rob Noire Gaming? Oh, RNG, I'm sorry. I see, it's already funny.
Yeah, it's already gone bad. It's already gone bad.
Yeah, that's cool.
I thought you meant like RGB cable.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
the RNGcast, I guess.
Yeah, the first RNG podcast.
And today's podcast is brought to you by Day Old Bread. Eat it. It's there.
Sweet. It's also brought to you by Puppy Chow.
So yeah, we're trying out a new format here. We're just going to do a podcast. I've always wanted to do one of these. I haven't done it since fucking back in school.
Yeah.
So we're just going to give this a go. Who knows how well it will work, but...
Hey, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And so today we're talking about our experience as gamers.
on the channel.
On the channel. So, you know, worst games, best games, and a surprise at the end.
Yeah.
So, hey, Rob, tell me about your worst games that you've played on our channel.
Well, I've picked out 3 that I think are the worst I've ever played. The first one you're going to disagree with me on is Paperboy on the NES.
Yeah.
That game is horrible. It's not fun. It was just frustrating. One thing I will say is we did play a ROM of it. It wasn't the original cartridge, so there was some input lag, which made it harder than it probably actually is. I have the cartridge. I've never played it because I'm terrified. But Paperboy on the NES would be one of the worst. It was just not fun. It's just 2 seconds, you die. You go here, you die. Go on the road, you're dead. Oh, game over. It's like, it wasn't a good experience.
Well, luckily, as a kid, I had the cartridge, and I could put more than 2 lives, 3 lives.
Yeah, that would help.
So that helps a little bit, but yeah.
I didn't have enough time to get, like, practice at it, because I'm dead. It's like I moved 2 spaces, I'm dead. It just sucked, that game. It was not fun. That would be probably the first bad game. Well, no, that wouldn't be the first bad game, but that'd be one of the bad games for sure.
Well, for me, I gotta say, the very worst was 1-2 Switch.
I can agree with you on that.
It was a horrible game, and I wouldn't even qualify it as a game, really.
Well, to be fair, there's a few of the mini games which are okay. The vast majority suck.
Yeah, and I mean, quite frankly, the people there look like they're just out of an insane asylum or something.
The acting was so bad.
Oh, the acting was bad. They were way too happy. The games were horrible. There was no really gauges.
Did you see my video 1-2 Shave?
No, I haven't.
I did a live action skit about it because it was so bad. You should. It was actually pretty funny. But yeah.
So yeah, worst game. And if anybody got a Switch, don't buy that game.
I agree. It's especially not worth full price for fucking 1-2 Switch. So the next one I got here, I was gonna say Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location, but that was just frustrating. I don't think it was necessarily a bad game. So the next worst game that I played was actually Jetpack.
Yeah, I've seen a bit of that.
This was the first time ever on the channel that I did a video that made me angry. Like, it made me, like, literal gamer rage, scream at my TV, "Oh!" kind of shit playing Jetpack. I was playing a browser version, like a Flash game, and I used to play it in Donkey Kong 64, where it was actually kind of fun. It was not fun. It was not fun playing that game again. It made me so angry. It's like a 1980s arcade style. It just fucking sucked, man. That game sucks so bad. I never want to play it again. And it's made by Rare, people who did like Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong Country 64.
Rare is an awesome.
Yeah,
Donkey Kong Country comes to mind.
Back in the day, they were amazing. Now they're second-party Xbox developers, and their games really. They haven't done much that impresses me, at least. But yeah, Jetpack, don't play it. It sucks.
Well, for me, the second one, I would say Halloween Forever.
Yeah, I guess you really didn't like that game. I didn't think it was great, but I didn't mind it.
I didn't get a feel for it. I mean, Jack-o'-lantern, puking candy corn, and it wasn't that great as a side-scroller. So I guess for me, it was one of the worst side-scroller I've played. But hey,
it wouldn't be one of the worst ones I've played. I agree. It wasn't a fantastic game, but I don't know. I didn't really hate it. It was just kind of like, well, whatever.
I just say I wouldn't try to finish the game.
No, I agree with you there. I wouldn't pull it up and be fucking hardcore Halloween Forever 100% no deaths, you know?
Like if you really want to waste your life, do that.
I don't know. I never really found it was that bad, but I agree. It wasn't a particularly great game. So my third worst game, which should come as no surprise to anyone who knows the channel, is Quest 64. This is a game where when the N64 came out, they claimed was better than Final Fantasy. Do you think that's true, Phil? Do you think Quest 64 is better than Final Fantasy?
No.
Oh, you had to think about that one, really?
Well, I don't know. I haven't played Quest 64 before.
Oh, you should.
But for what I've heard from you and from what I've seen, and I mean, I didn't watch all the videos, obviously, because there's a lot. But yeah, it really looks like a bad game.
It sucks. It's basically all the bad things about RPGs with none of the good things. And it was because they lost Square as a publisher, right? Because Square couldn't put Final Fantasies out on cartridges.
Well, Squaresoft is the company for RPGs, right?
Well, but N64 is when they switched from Nintendo to PlayStation. It's because they couldn't store enough on the cartridge to do a Final Fantasy game anymore.
Oh, I see.
That's literally why they went to PlayStation. And so Nintendo was like, fuck, we just lost like one of our best developers.
Yeah.
So they gave this money to this company called Imagineer. And they came up with Quest 64, which is the most fucking boring game I've ever played. I promised when I first started it up to my friend John, who loves the N64, and even he thinks that game sucks. I promised him I would do a 100% playthrough. So I've been working through it, and fuck, it sucks, man. Like, it's so boring. You don't get any weapons. You have one weapon in the entire game. You don't have any weapons.
Wow.
Just you have a staff. The leveling system for your stats makes 0 sense. Like, if you want high agility, it's like Oblivion. Just put a rubber band on your control stick and let the game go.
Okay.
He'll build up his agility that way.
So basically Willow and more different weapons.
Absolutely. The magic...
So it's an NES game.
Yeah, the magic, you have 4 different kinds of magic, and all your spells, by the time you get them, your staff does more damage. So it's like, why bother with the magic? And there's no side characters, there's no companions. The music is not good. The graphics are some of the worst I've seen on the N64. And people say it has good graphics. It does not. It just has a good render distance. I don't know, man. That game is horrible. I'm about 2 episodes away from beating it and like 12 hours of grinding at least.
Hey, you're going to beat it, man.
I will. After 12 hours of grinding. And
Shit.
John, fuck you.
And you thought Guardian Legend was long.
Oh, God. It didn't have much grinding.
No.
Guardian Legend had no grinding. It's just
but some
boring.
bosses.
Yes, the bosses were... In this game, the bosses are a joke.
I remember Satan, right?
Yes, I do. In this game, the bosses are a joke. You walk up, you hit them with your staff like 5 times, they die.
Wow, okay.
It sucks.
Big challenge.
That's my third worst game. What would yours be?
Well, I gotta say, I'm gonna go with Kinect Sport.
Come on, that was great. Hey,
'Cause-
listen. Hey.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say it was not a funny video, but oh my god, what a crappy ass feel to the game. We could barely do the stuff that we needed to do. I remember the climbing stage that we couldn't even finish.
Well, to be fair, we did have our Kinect a little bit closer than it should have been, but also to be fair, it was a regular sized room, and if you put your Kinect all the way across the room, it doesn't pick you up.
Yeah, that's even worse.
So,
and I've heard of some Dragon Ball Z Kinect games that are fucking horrible.
Have you seen the Star Wars Kinect game?
I don't want to.
There's a dancing portion where they take pop songs and they put Star Wars lingo in it.
Oh, I've seen some footage.
Han Solo dances, so does Lando.
Oh my god, and Vader, of course.
I don't know if Vader dances.
I saw a Vader dance. I was like, what the hell?
The Kinect sucked, man. Xbox has pretty much completely discontinued the Kinect. And it makes sense. It makes sense. Like, it never went anywhere.
Yeah.
It went less places than the PlayStation Move. Which, do you know anyone with a PlayStation Move?
No.
The only people who have it are people who have PlayStation VR, which also isn't that great.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So Kinect Sports. Yeah. Any good things to say about it? You didn't enjoy it at all?
No. Well,
I agree.
The only thing I enjoyed is it was funny as hell because we were 2 guys trying to climb a mountain and getting in each other's way, and it was just funny. But if you're talking about the game itself, oh my god.
Yeah, Kinect Sports is pretty garbage, and that was the first one. There was a sequel later on, but yeah, it's pretty garbage. I will admit. So you were talking about the best games. You were already talking about the Guardian Legend. I'm assuming that's one of yours.
Yeah, obviously. It's also my first saga, my first retro saga I started, and also finished, which it's just also nice because I never finished it as a kid.
Yeah.
And on the channel, I did finish it. Mm-hmm. And that was an achievement for me. A gamer achievement, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, it's got everything. It's got a Zelda-esque kind of grid thing. Mm-hmm. It's got space shooters. It's got upgrades. It's got life upgrades, a chips upgrade. Mm-hmm. So many kinds of weapon.
Yeah.
And all the bosses mostly are different. And all the stages are different. Nothing is the same. So it's never boring.
And it also had different music as well.
Yeah, the music in there. I mean, a lot of gamers and YouTubers will agree with me. The soundtrack of that game is amazing. I personally downloaded it on my phone. I got a couple of songs that I kept. Sorry. And and of course the general feel of it. Some of the stuff is easy. Some of the stuff is very hard, so there's a nice balance, I find.
Yeah, I didn't play it myself more than like the first level. I think I did when we first set it up, but I did actually enjoy that game. It was very interesting. Apparently it didn't sell well because the cover art of the game was horrible. You had no idea what the game was.
Yeah, that's the thing about a lot of NES games. The cover art, either you didn't know what the hell the game was, or either it was an amazing cover art, and you go to the game and it's a piece of crap.
Yeah, this cover art, it was like two eyes. It was like some eyes and like an orange background. It's like how the fuck what does that even have to do with the Guardian Legend? Show Mr. Pinchy on the front,
well, they can't do a spoiler of the last boss. Come on.
They could show Satan or Maud, your character.
Yeah, at least Maud. I would have seen a nice graphic art of Maud. Like
on the end screen, the credits.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. At the end screen, you see her.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
So, I would say, out of the best games I ever played, one of them would be Banjo-Kazooie.
Okay.
Which, much like you with the Guardian Legend from your childhood, that was my childhood game. Like, I would wake up when I was like 8 or 9 on Saturday mornings, watch shitty Saturday morning cartoons, and then play Banjo-Kazooie from like 11 until 6 when we ate, and I would 100% the game in that time. I did it probably 12 times.
Shit.
Like, I love the shit out of that game. And they came out with a re-release on the Xbox One, which is in widescreen, better graphics, improved controls, just all around better. And it was just a lot of fun. I did get kind of pissed because there was a glitch that prevented me from 100%ing the game, which was not in the original. But it's just an awesome game. Have you ever played Banjo-Kazooie?
I've played briefly on emulator.
Yeah.
When I actually had the console itself, I had more like, Zelda and Castlevania 64, stuff like that. I even got, if I remember, what was that game? Anyway, I had a couple of pretty good games, but no, I never had that one.
I think it's better than Mario 64 for like a 3D platformer. Mm-hmm. Like it's got to be the best 3D platformer I've ever played. Still to this day, although the Xbox version with 2 control sticks so you can control the camera and everything is one hell of an improvement.
Yeah, that makes a difference for sure.
Like if I compared the N64 version to like a modern platformer, it wouldn't hold up. But the remaster, amazing. Like, if you have an Xbox One, download it. It's worth the thing. You get all these other games, and it's just an awesome game. It really is. I'm glad I beat it. I wish I could have 100%ed it, which you motherfuckers left a glitch in. But no, it was probably one of the best games I've played, for sure.
All right. Well, if we're talking about the good games, I got to say Oregon Trail for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well... Right from the bat, I'm a fan of survival horror zombie games, and I'm a fan of retro games. So it kind of melds everything together, and it's also funny because the stuff that happened, that's like, what the hell?
Yeah, we really made it our own.
We made it our own. If you haven't seen that Let's Play, it's a 2-part. it's very long, but it's very fun to watch.
Oh, if they want, I made a best of compilation that has the best moments from it, and even that at least is worth watching.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, but it's got it's got everything pretty much. You buy your shit, you sell some stuff, you make sure you got the fuel, you make sure your team is alive and not zombified.
Yeah,
it's got it's got a nice apocalyptic zombie feel to it.
Yeah, I thought you'd like it, and we are planning at some point on doing another playthrough of it.
Yeah, hard mode actually this time.
So if you liked it, you'll probably see it again on the channel at least by Halloween, but maybe even sooner than that.
Yeah, so, and this time we can actually, I think we can actually play 2 players this time.
It'd be nice. We couldn't figure it out, and we're not the only people who have had problems with that.
Oh, I see.
I saw some other Let's Plays, and they're like, we wanted to do 2 players, but we couldn't figure it out. I'm like, yeah.
And by the way, guys, never buy it on PS4. It's full of glitches, and it barely loads.
Well, it was a PC game to begin with.
Oh, yeah, I know. But, usually you're like, oh, cool, it's on PS4. I'm going to try it out. But don't.
Okay, no, that's cool. I knew you'd like it. So I'm glad you like that one. For me, the second most favorite game that we did on the channel would actually be Overcooked, which you remember that one. Of
course.
It would, I think, out of all of the 2-player co-op games we've done, it would be the best one so far.
Yeah, for 2-player co-op, I gotta agree. If we would have had a Section 2 co-op games, it would probably be that and the bomb game.
The bomb game was fun. It was hard.
Yeah, it was hard, but hey, we beat it.
Yeah, we did.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, the last 2-3 episodes are intense as hell. And
that's some OG RNG shit there, original. But no, Overcooked, it's an indie game. So I was going in kind of with low expectations, and I played it through 1 player before I even did a 2-player playthrough with you. Just as much fun. It's so crazy. It's like the best cooking game I've ever played. I've played some.
It's so simple too,
very simple concept, yeah.
It's very simple concept, but it's addictive. And I gotta say, 2 players is fun because, you get in each other's way.
Yeah.
You get some floor meat,
But yeah, it's just you're cooking like some basic recipes, trying to get to a high score to get 3 stars. And you can play up to 4 people. I've done 3 people, and it was just ridiculous.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it's as bad as Super Mario Bros. Wii with 3 people.
Exactly.
I mean, 2 people, it's very fun, but 3, 4, oh my God, it's such an asshole.
Yeah, the screen's just not big enough, and everybody gets in each other's way. Yeah, but no, Overcooked, amazing. You can get it on every single console. Every console. I would say that the Xbox version plays the best, other than PC. I have it on Nintendo Switch. They actually lowered the amount of points you need to get the stars because it's harder to control. So I don't like it as much on the Switch, but it's just an awesome game. Highly recommend. It's only like $20.
I recommend too.
And you'll get like a good 20 hours of gameplay out of that easy.
Oh yeah, and you can have a crazy party and start that game up, and people will have a lot of fun. A few beers in, it's even better.
Oh, it's great. So what would be your next best game?
Well, of course, it's hard to top Guardian Legend and Oregon Trail, but my third one would definitely be Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. In the beginning, it was a bit hard because you had to get used to it all.
Oh, absolutely.
But once you started gaining some tricks and you can feel the tension in the air, you can cut it with a knife. It's, how can I say you really feel like you're defusing a bomb, and you're 2 guys, and it's like, okay, this, and at the end, you really had to skip some steps to actually finish it.
Yeah, I do think it started to go better when it was just, okay, I'm just the diffuser, you're just the instruction guy. We used to go back and forth in the very old episodes.
Yeah. Which
I'm sure you could have done all the stuff I did, but it's like I got the practice from doing it constantly, while you got the practice for the instructions constantly.
Oh, dude, I was a whiz.
Exactly. So that's having one dedicated guy, but yeah, that was a fun game.
It was really nice.
I'm surprised you didn't pick Willow, actually.
Willow is nice, but out of all the games I've played, it is a childhood game that I finished on the channel, of course.
Yeah.
But how can I say? It's nice, but it's redundant a bit, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, RPG style, but really like the bomb game. It really, I guess I really got into it, and since I became like really good at it, it's more interactive.
Oh, it was a great series, especially the first episode of it was like one of the first episode of the bomb game was the first video we ever did together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
And yeah, I think it was like 16, 17 episodes.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that was a hard one to finish too. We should go back and do like a bonus episode at some point.
Sure.
Try and defuse an impossible bomb, you know? You can make custom bombs in it.
Yeah, that's something we could do, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So what about you? What's your third choice?
My third choice would be Doom, the one that just came out recently.
Oh, on the Switch, yeah.
Yeah, I got it on the Switch, although it's probably better not on the Switch because the Switch version is kind of glitchy.
Okay.
But even despite the glitches, it was just fun. Like it's probably one of the best first-person shooters I've ever played. And the reason is just that it's not like this fucking boring-ass cover shooter. Like, you know, if you play Call of Duty, you hide behind a rock, oh, you poke out, you get a couple shots, you hide behind this wall, and you look out, oh, there's someone there, you get a shot. It's none of that shit. It's just you're fucking in their face with a shotgun, just, fuck you, boom, you know, like...
Well, personally, I've played Call of the World War II recently.
I've played a bunch of them.
And I'm personally the guy with a shotgun, so I just... storm through. Oh, there's a guy, pow, right in your head, you know?
Similar thing, although in Call of Duty, you die much faster.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
But no, Doom was great. I don't think I like it as much as the game that the studio did before Doom, which was called Rage, which I'd love to do on the channel at some point. But it's just, everything about it was fun. Like, it was just all the best parts of a first-person shooter. Constant action, constant energy, very difficult, but never so difficult that like I wanted to throw my controller and never play it again. Like, it was challenging, but not like insanely challenging. And it was just fun. Like, I'd love to go back and play it again. I would not play it again on the Switch just because there were too many glitches.
Yeah, like you mentioned, yeah.
Yeah, it's such a like like powerful game that every once in a while like the sound would cut out, and then it's like you got to hear the monsters, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like dead silence. You're looking around like, fuck, and then something just kills you from behind. You're like, fuck, man.
I gotta say, personally, I played a little bit on PS4. I wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
But I really liked like the older version of Doom. That's for sure.
Oh, like the Super Nintendo one?
No. No, the original PC one.
Okay.
You know, Doom 1, I think.
Yeah,
it
the
was.
original. Well, I have that on the Super Nintendo. I haven't really played it, but...
Yeah, it was true. It was on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, they ported it to all the consoles they could.
And I remember it was on Sega Genesis too, but on Sega Genesis, if you listen to the music on Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, the Super Nintendo one was so much more detailed and amazing compared to
the music.
Compared to the Genesis one.
The Super Nintendo actually had a very good audio chip. Like, it had very good audio processing. So yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we'll have to give it a go at some point. I'd probably let you play most of it. I tried and I sucked. I don't know, man. I'm not used to 3D games with a D-pad.
But personally, I would do probably Doom 1, and probably even Doom 2, which is pretty tough. Doom 3 I found was really fun. I think I finished it. You're on Mars or something. And same type of game, I would love to do Duke Nukem.
Not the new one, but the old one, sure.
The old one.
Did you ever play the new one?
No.
Sucked.
I played Duke Nukem Forever, I think it was, or something. I remember I played Duke Nukem, what was it, Atomic version or something. It was like a side-scroller. That was actually fun.
Well, I'm sure the older ones were good. The recent one was just horrible.
No, yeah, a lot of the old games from the 90s that were really popular, now they're trying to make a comeback. You know, it's like a lot of those movies that were popular in the 90s. They're having sequel. Dumb and Dumber comes to mind. The first one, amazing. I loved it. The second one, I wanted to puke.
I never saw the second one. I
don't.
didn't expect it to be good.
No, just don't.
Well, man, I saw the new Ghostbusters. Favorite movie ever. Come on.
Oh my god.
I never even saw it. Speaking of the Guardian Legend, we actually talked about that in one of the episodes.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
So, what do you think was the most what the fuck game we've ever played? And I actually agree with Phil on this one.
Wild Ball.
The Guardian Legend.
Fuck you.
No, Wild Ball.
I was trying to do
he was doing a countdown.
It was a countdown, yeah.
I was trying
at
to think
the same time, right? But no.
I was trying to think of what the worst game I could say to reply to that would be. I was going to say Willow, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really the most what the fuck game ever I played personally.
There's actually a couple other games that I want to do with you at some point that would probably top it in a different way.
Yeah.
But it's one of the most WTF games, yeah. If you don't know, you play rock, paper, scissors to undress a girl who looks like Misty from Pokemon.
Yeah, a pixelated chick
With red hair.
which pretty much well, you can see that it's a chick, but that's pretty much it. I mean the art itself is not that great, and
No, it's not.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was one of those games that was just done quickly. It's like, oh yeah, we'll make
Get some money because it's got naked girls.
yeah,
and yes,
we'll make an edgy game for Japan in the 90s, I guess. Because I know, I remember from the AVGN that even Atari actually had porn games.
Yeah, well,
With the company Mystique.
there was what's the one where you play like this guy in the Wild West?
Yeah, I know. It's General Custard.
Yeah, or Custer's Revenge or something.
It's called Custard's Revenge. It's actually a real general of the the Secession War, I think it is.
Okay.
Basically, the Civil War that happened in the between the South and the North in the United States, and basically the goal is to go fuck a girl,
a Native American girl.
a Native American girl, no less, while trying to dodge spears. I'm guessing from Native American guys, and you gotta fuck her up a cactus. So
Yeah, it's a very bad game. Wild Ball is similar, except the gameplay is worse.
oh yeah.
You're playing rock, paper, scissors, and you just click a button to say if you're rock, your paper, or your scissors.
Yeah,
And the other guy is going like at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
And I mean, even just the title is like, why?
Yeah, what does it have to do with the game?
I think I remember when we did the review, I said something like, probably when you play it and you get her naked, you get wild balls.
Yeah, you said you're assuming their balls are going wild or something.
Yeah, or something like that,
Yeah, that was a weird game.
Yeah, it's definitely the most what the fuck game I've played. On the
It'd
channel.
be the most one we've played on the channel for sure. We'll get some weirder ones. Don't worry.
Oh yeah. I got plenty. I got plenty more.
Actually, I will say Default Dan was a pretty what the fuck game. Do you remember that one?
Very briefly, yes.
It's a platformer like Mario, but everything's reversed.
Yes.
Spikes are good.
Yeah.
You have to jump down. Yeah, that was pretty what the fuck. That was fun. I would never sink time into it, but that was fun.
Well, that was what the fuck, because it was reversed, but that's it. I mean,
Yeah.
it didn't have an. You didn't ask yourself why the fuck did they do that?
Yeah, why did they make it?
Like wild ball is why?
Yeah,
Like, where's the fun?
there's none.
Where's the chick?
I guess the fun is seeing a pixelated woman.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, so that was our first podcast.
The first RNGcast.
RNGcast,
What did
yeah.
you say? RBG.
RBG. Or something.
RBG
I don't know.
cast.
But yeah, first RNG podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. We're planning on doing a couple more for sure.
Yeah, we'll try this out, see if it works.
Yeah,
it's a new format. I gotta kind of get a handle on it, but
it's okay. And it's also nice, give us your opinions on your worst and best games you've played in your gaming years.
And if you have any other topics that you want us to cover there, definitely let us know. We're open to ideas. I mean,
that's right. No, don't be afraid to ask any questions.
be afraid. Be very, very afraid.
Any questions to Rob or me, Phil?
Careful,
on anything on the channel or anything else.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're always open to suggestions or questions for sure.
Yeah, guys, thanks a lot for listening wherever you're listening to this too, because it might be in multiple places. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one, I guess.
We'll talk you in the next one.